as we get ready to wind down the year, you're going to need your money and your finances to be straight in 2021 because a lot of us definitely took a beating in 2020. So we have our money expert, Jini Thornton, on the line. What up, Queen?
Good morning, Head Crack. Good morning, Morning Hustle. How y'all doing today?
Oh, we making it. Christmas is almost here.
Oh, my gosh.
One day closer to Friday.
The end of the year is here.
Indeed. And listen, Jini, so many of our listeners are entrepreneurs. What year-end money moves do they need to be making so they can be moving forward?
Well, I'm so glad we're talking about this today because so many of us are so anxious just to get to 2021 since 2020 was so hard. But there are a few things that we need to take care of. So for those of us who actually had a good year, because some of us actually did, people were quietly making some decent money this year. You want to make sure that if you need to buy anything, inventory, supplies, pay any of your vendors, maybe pay yourself a little extra or your people. This is a good time to do that because there's nothing more painful than when you get your taxes done and you owe all this money. You can actually make some moves and spend some money right now. One thing that I like to suggest to entrepreneurs, which was a game changer for me, when I opened a business savings account and I committed to saving a certain percentage of every dollar that I made, it changed everything for me. So consider doing that this year, and that way you can start your 2021 off right.
Nice. Now, Jini, this is Angie Ann checking in with you. So we talked about entrepreneurs, but what about those of us who, have regular jobs or 9-to-5s? What year-end money moves do you think we should be making on our jobs?
So great question, too, because think about it. You want to make sure is your withholding good. This is a good time to check in with HR. You want to make any changes. Most companies are wrapping up open enrollment. That's everything related to your benefits. So if you have not checked in, you want to make sure that you're good on that side. Angie, this is also a great time to make sure, can you increase your 401k or even just get started? So even if you can't do a lot, $5 a paycheck, $20 a paycheck, you definitely at least want to get started, but those are some great year-end money moves to make.
I also wanted to ask about other things that people need to close out before the end of the year, like financial aid forms, things that people should kind of be thinking about.
The financial aid forms, that FAFSA form actually opened up on October 1st. If no one gets anything else done over the holiday season, you have got to get that done. Because remember, that money is first come, first serve. So you want to make sure you get those forms completed. It's also a great opportunity, too, if you want to make any charitable contributions, you got to get that done. Under the CARES Act, you actually get to write off more charitable contributions than we have before, and this is a one-time thing. It's only going to happen for 2020. One more thing, too, for those of us who were on unemployment, and remember, it's crazy, but unemployment is taxable. It doesn't make any sense. If you did not get taxes taken out of your unemployment, you want to start thinking about how you're going to manage that, because when you file your taxes, you may be in a position that you owe. So I don't want you to be caught off guard. Begin to start putting a plan together for that.
Okay, now for those who just tuning in, we talking to Jini Thornton. She's a money expert. She definitely knows her stuff. Now I have a serious question for you. You know how at the end of the year, when you don't do your taxes, the IRS can fine you for filing late or whatever, and penalize you for delays?
So what the IRS does is if you don't file, go ahead.
Well, there was more to it. You know how but if you don't file, there's penalties and stuff like that for being late, and it can accrue interest and stuff like that.
Right.
So what if, because this year it's taking them a long time to send us our money. So is there anything that we can do as civilians to kind of penalize them for being late with our money, because it's ours, and I feel like it should work both ways.
Let me tell you something. Wentworth. It's my money. I need it now, damn it.
Let me tell you something. I wish that were true, and so many people are still due refunds. Have not heard a thing from the IRS. And guess what? Wow. We're all still going to just have to wait. There's nothing we can do about that. Isn't that crazy, though? They can hold our money and not pay us any extra for it, though.
There got to be something we could do, right? Class action lawsuit, there has to be something, right?
Look, when you come up with that, please let me know what it is, because I want to be a part of that campaign for sure.
Hey, Janai, can I one quick question for you too? I've been seeing circulating. This has been going viral on Twitter and social media about LLCs and S corps, right?
Right.
And I've been seeing people say that, and typically with the LLC, that's just like extra income. So let's say I have my regular job, I got an LLC,
right.
It adds on to my income. But people have been saying that you can have an LLC but file as an S corp, or you do your taxes as an S corp to get those business write-offs. What do you say to that? Because I've been seeing that a lot lately.
Okay.
More and more pages talking about LLCs, running them as S corps on your taxes.
Okay, so with an most people are LLCs simply because they're very easy to set up. And what that means is when you file your own personal tax return, you're going to include this other form. It's called a Schedule C, in addition to your tax return. Now, if you make an S election, that means now you're going to file this completely separate tax return. Now, my suggestion is to people, I'd like to see people at least 6 figures before they make that S election. Because what happens is when you do that, you're going to have to pay for this extra tax return to be filed, and the IRS expects you to be on payroll as an owner when you flip it to this S corp. And that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. So because S corps don't pay taxes. They don't pay tax, so they're looking to get that money. And you know what? It's really all about Medicare and Social Security. They're not as focused on that income tax, but they're looking to get that Medicare and Social Security tax out of you. So again, you can LLC is easy. It's the right way to start your business. But again, when you're getting closer to that 6 figures, that's when I think it's a really good time to make that S election.
Okay, Jini Thornton, real quick. Now, Congress is still trying to put together a stimulus package because benefits run out after Christmas.
Right.
What should, a lot of us be preparing for?
Well, it's interesting. I think they're going to have to make a decision because you're right. Unemployment is going to run out at the end of the year. This pause on evictions runs out at the end of the year. Right now, we just really have to stay tuned because they're proposing to extend unemployment an additional 4 months with a $300 additional benefit to people. And they're even talking about, I know y'all hearing what they're talking about with student loans, possibly giving people a break in writing off up to $10,000 as high as $50,000 of their student loan debt. But that would be dope if that actually happened. But let me tell you something, all you high income earners, y'all making over $125,000 a year, you probably will not be able to participate in that student loan gift. It's only going to be for people who are under a certain income level. So they have some decisions to make, but they really need to get focused on this unemployment for people and how they're going to handle these evictions. They've got about $80 billion that they're going to allocate to states to help people pay their rent and their utilities. But, I mean, how long is it going to take the states to get up to speed and be able to allocate that money? How are they going to decide who gets that money?
They got to figure it out. They got to figure it out fast. Hey, Jini Thornton, thank you so much for pulling up on us, and thank you for every time you showed up for us this whole year. We appreciate you, and we hope that 2021 has bigger and better things for everybody across the board. If people want to find you, where can they go?
Please reach out to me at Jini Thornton. That's JiniThornton. I'd love to hear from you and get your questions.
We are the Morning Hustle.